I arrived there before sunrise, when the air was cold and the roads were empty. They told me to leave my name at the gate and forget it on the other side. No badges, no rank, just silence. A man in a dark coat looked at me and asked, "Do you understand why you are here?" I said yes, but the truth was, I only understood fear. We walked into a small room with blackout curtains. Maps covered the walls. Not normal maps. These showed places we would never go, roads we would never use, beaches we would never touch. I realized then, this war would not be fought with bullets. It would be fought inside minds. They told me the plan had a name, Operation Fortitude, and they told me one thing very clearly. If this fails, the man said quietly, thousands will die on the real beaches. I nodded. My mouth was dry. I could not ask questions. My job was simple and terrifying. I had to help build an army that did not exist. We created camps in open fields. From the air, they looked real. Rows of tents, trucks, fuel depots, even kitchens. But if you walked close enough, you would see the truth. Wooden tanks, rubber planes, empty tents flapping in the wind. At night, we moved lights to fake movement. Radios stayed on, sending endless messages, orders, requests, complaints, all fake, every word carefully planned. Sometimes I sat alone, tapping out radio traffic, pretending to be officers I had never met, commanding men who were not there. First, Army Group ready, I would say into the radio. My hands shook every time. We held secret meetings almost every night. Small rooms, low voices, cigarette smoke thick in the air. They told us what the enemy believed and what we needed them to believe next. They think the main attack will come at Pas de Calais, one officer said. We must make them certain. So we fed them false information, fake troop numbers, fake landing dates, fake plans leaked through channels. We knew they were watching. I knew they were listening. That was the worst part. Every message I sent felt like walking on a thin wire. One mistake, one wrong detail, and they would know. And if they knew, the real invasion would face everything the enemy had. Sometimes I imagined German officers reading our messages, pointing at maps, moving divisions, reacting to ghosts we had created. The pressure never left. Even when I slept, my dreams were full of questions. What if they send planes? What if someone defects? What if they see through it? One evening, a man rushed into the room while we were working. They questioned one of our contacts. He said, hard. The room went silent. Did he break? Someone asked. The man shook his head. No, but they are close. That night, I could barely breathe. I stared at the radio, waiting for a signal that would mean we had been exposed. Nothing came. Just silence. Heavy, endless silence. And then came the real day. We were told the invasion had begun, not where our fake army waited, but far away. Across the channel. Normandy. We did nothing. That was the hardest part. Sitting still while history moved, while real men landed under real fire, while our fake army stayed in place, acting ready, acting dangerous. The enemy believed it was a trick. They believed the real attack was still coming at Pas de Calais because of us. So they waited. They held back tanks. They held back divisions. They watched shadows while the real battle unfolded somewhere else. Days passed, then weeks, and still they waited. One morning, an officer came into the room and simply said, they never moved. No cheering, no smiles, just quiet looks. We had won without firing a shot. This really happened during World War II, but in that moment, it felt unreal. No medals, no parades, just the weight slowly lifting from our chests. I walked through the fake camp one last time. The wooden tanks sat in the grass, useless now. The empty tents whispered in the wind. So many lives depended on lies we told well. I thought about the men who landed on the real beaches. Some would never return. And I wondered if our silence saved even a few of them. Before leaving, I touched the side of a fake tank. It felt light, hollow, but the victory it helped create was real. I left without saying goodbye, just like I arrived. And to this day, when people talk about battles and guns and heroes, they never mention the army that never existed. But I was there. And sometimes, the quiet victories matter the most.